Okay, hi there, traders. Now we're just kicking off the Asian market session. We've had the SPY has been open for a little while, the ASX. Now I'm just going to record what I've been doing. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get some live trades off, see if we can record those, see how they go. Now the action on the SPY, I only had a couple of trades. I actually got long in here and I cut it. I think I cut it for about 4 points or 5 points. It never did anything. I was sitting through this, sat through that, and it just didn't go anywhere. And then it started to roll, so I was basically out of that one. I did short in here, and then I think this move, I was holding that, this move down, and it just kept pulling back. So again, I cut that one for a small gain. So that was pretty much the only action I've had on the SPY. Now, it's been a tougher market. So if you are not finding there's much follow through, don't worry, you're not the only one. So this, in hindsight, that should have been a short, but it looked like we're going to do something like yesterday. And there was a nice little, probably not showing up there, but there's a nice little resistance zone up here that I thought I'd just punch into above 7,200. So I thought, okay, we've got 10 or 20 points on the cards there, but it was just heavy. So it's basically pushed up here into the close. It's open flush down, and then any buying that was trying to come in was getting sold into. So really no good on the SPY today. So I'll probably just I'll watch that for now. It looks like it could be coming into a zone where we could expect to sell. So I'll just I'll keep an eye on it. But for now, you can see that the momentum's starting to roll over. Last times we rolled, we could potentially get something there. So I want to be under the EMAs. It's really hard to get a short off in here because you short it here, you've been squeezed. You short it here, you get squeezed. So it needs to be something below the EMAs for a short if it's going to roll anyway. Nikkei's just starting to open, so I think firstly we'll just go through and pick out some key levels where the market could do something. Let me just get rid of that. All right, so bear with me, and we'll just check some levels. So there's obviously a level through here. You've got a zone sort of through here, which it's bounced, it's flushed it and then bounced. So that's a fairly good level. We've got maybe some minor. Well, probably let's put up that one there. Minor level there. So we're in the 30-minute chart, by the way. I like to key levels on 30s. You've got a zone here. You've also got a zone through here. Okay, so that's probably it for now. You've got it's just pushing into the highs again. Let's go back down to the 5. So that's sort of what it looks like on the 5-minute chart. Let me just add a MACD. So what I've really got, I'm setting up, I like MACDs. I've got a 10, a 20, and a 50 EMAs. The basic one is the 20 and the 50 is what I'm using. You want to ideally get times it's compressing in, and then you're looking for expansion. So you're sort of looking for those pushes, okay, when you're going with trend. So there's a bit of a push higher last night. You can see higher lows holding in here, chops around through here, push straight through the resistance, took out all the stops, chopped around through here. So are we going to do the same thing, or are we going to get a bit of a rollover? Let's look at it this way. I think it's a better fit. Okay, so that's kind of the action. We'll see basically, is this going to hold? We're going to hold the flush and down. So I really want to be going with the momentum. So the momentum could easily push up. It could easily fade. You can see this action here. There we go. Momentum's easing as we get into those highs. Okay, so momentum's coming down. Whether it continues that way is a different story. Okay, what you're seeing here, I actually start getting long on the SPY, but what you'll see down the track, a bit lower down, unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of the market, and actually, well, I was on the right side of the market, but I ended up getting squeezed out, stopped out before it actually went off. But I did get in again, get long, and eventually take some nice little profits out of that. So net, I think I was up slightly in the all after the 2 trades, but right side of the action is just, as I was saying before, the market at the moment is very choppy. So you see I was actually long, 71.78, expecting that to kick on, and I had my stop. I think I moved it up in just a moment, a bit closer, and it was enough to get tagged out of that with a little spike down. And it was just enough to flush these little minor high low before before it started heading higher again. So you'll see, yeah, look, it's the nature of the beast. It's the way it goes, but we'll see how that plays out. So you'll see here, I'm just about to get stopped out, I think, on that trade. I moved it up, I tightened it up because once it starts to push up and it doesn't kick on like you expect, that could easily have been a double top or what we call a retest fail or RTS. So you don't really want to muck around. You want to manage your risk as best you can. And that's pretty much what I did. It's just unfortunate that yeah, it did work out. So look, if I had a slightly wider stop, I might have been fine if I put my stop a bit lower on the other higher low, probably about below about, was it 71.65, then I would have been fine. But that's what that's what it's all about. I mean, you manage your risk, all you can do, and then if it does kick off and kicks on, you've got to be willing to get back in again. So that's pretty much the way it played out for me today on the SPY. So, like I said, it's just a very choppy market. The market is trying its hardest to chop you out of the action. So it's always trying to put people in and then put them back out on the sidelines. Okay, drag them in, drag them out, drag them in, drag them out, and that's the way the algos make money. That's why you instos make money. They'll trap you into a good long, and then they'll squeeze you back out, and then trap you in and squeeze you back out. You just got to realize that you got to try and get in nice and early. All right. Okay. Second trade here. Second dabble long. You just see a kick off there. So I bought it at 71.79. Now this one actually works okay. And what I did like about it, I'm on the 5-minute chart here, I think. It did sort of flush lower, and that's where it squeezed me out. And then it's popped back up again. So you do know that it's constantly probing for liquidity, the market. If it's not it's got a market that hasn't got conviction, it's sort of probing both sides. Okay, and that's what the algos do. They love that kind of action. If the market is, a bit uncertain, they'll probe up, they'll probe down, and they'll be making money on both sides of the action. Okay, and they just like the little scalps here and there. So yeah, that was a trade there. Let's just I'll fast forward to see how that played out. All right, so you see here, it's actually starting to kick off. Well, it has kicked off. I don't know how long it's actually been. It's probably been a few minutes there. So I think the trade was entered somewhere in about here, and it did actually, yeah, it was about here. So it's probably about 4 or 5 minutes. Now, this is a partial. I've got a partial at, was it 91? And I think that gets tagged, well, not far off, it gets tagged, and then I was looking for it to kick on strong, and I think because of what the market's been doing lately, it's just been all over the show. I was just happy. There you go, it just goes off there. So there's a partial there. I think it was out of 10 actually, and then I've got 10 more to go, and then I think I'll just take it off, bit here, bit there, just because I wasn't confident that this thing was going to just kick on strong, because I think I was continually watching the Nikkei. Nikkei wasn't looking too great. It was looking like it was getting a tad heavy. That might have been another 5 I just got out there. So the Nikkei was looking a bit heavy, and I think the Hang Seng was going to open not far off, and that wasn't looking too crash hot. So, with the way the markets are, you take your gains while they're there. Okay, you're not going for the big home run. There's times for that, I guess, but at the moment, I don't feel it is. There could be some times where it's going to kick off, and it may go on without you, but you just sort of manage it situation by situation. Okay, you see in pretty much the last 5, I think I got the hammer on or the finger on the button there, ready to sell, and there you go, just close it out there. Now, I didn't really like that little spike up, and then I thought if that doesn't kick on straight away, which it should have taken out the highs, then I'll just cancel it, I'll call it a day. And actually, I think it turned out to be quite a good exit there. I think that it wasn't too far from the highs, might have been 1 or 2 points from the highs. So like I said, managing your risk is the most important part of the trading as opposed to entries. I mean, you can get a good entry, a bad entry, but as long as you can manage your risk and limit those losses and try to maximize those gains by managing your risk as well, that it means that you're going to be successful over the long term. Okay, so you got these 3 lows in here. We're still respecting an uptrend. It's really just chopped in here at the moment. I don't want to be short. I feel that we get the initial plunge, and then we can get some sort of back and fill and then a lower high to work from like that. Like I was saying before, then okay, that would be worth a go. That ASX trade that we've got out pretty nicely there, actually, all in all, sort of towards the highs. So the way it got through these highs, I thought it might attack as the overnight into the overnight highs. I thought it might just attack that and flush through, but it didn't. It just stalled there. So look, it could be just pulling back, building a higher low, and ready to go again. So the level that's pushing up here, yeah, okay, that's a level 8 o'clock. So we've got some sort of zone up here. Potentially we're hovering around, where the breakdown area was. In there, big area down there, and smaller, tiny midget areas down here. So it's held that bit of a flush, popping back up. So whether it's just going to jam up into this high 72.05, It's struggling though. You can see that momentum's kind of sideways. Really, it's getting pushed, but it's not looking crash hot. Now we've got those. Go back to the 5 minute. See what happens there. So the Nikkei giving us nothing at the moment, nothing at all. Oh, okay, now we've got a breakdown, do we? So I want it back in here, potentially. That was a short position there, but trigger happy. Through that break, I like that LL2, what I call it anyway. You know, this could still roll, but we've got the secondary move up and hold below there, but I may have to take a bit of a knockabout on this one. Yeah. The Nikkei doesn't like to do too much before the Hang Seng opens. It's just big brother before it plays. So this is a killer. I mean, you're short in here, and it's an extended mark on the way down. So it serves me right for being trigger happy there. So you can see what it's doing. Just excuse me, suckering in some buyers and then sellers, and then back out again. Just probing around. Ideally, want something like that. All right, you'll see I've just gone short again after the second push high. So it's really going short off that deeper correction. I like to see the corrections in two legs. I was a bit trigger happy on the first one, thought it might have rolled, but you see that order's just ticked off there, got my automatic stop in place. So I really just want to see if it can hold a lower high, which you'll see in just a moment. It starts to, so it continues to push down, it holds a lower high, and then it looks like it continues to push down towards those lows. So you'll see the action play out, and I'll start talking live. I think in this environment might be prudent just to take a few off. Still looks weak. Right, 3 more points. All right, two's gone. I'm taking the other two off. Oh well. One off here. Just the Hang Seng's going to open and don't like it. Oh god, I was just about to move that down. Oh well. That's sort of the first move down. If we can get a still got this level in here. 26,560. Okay, we'll see in just a moment the first trade on the Hang Seng. So there you go, just place the actual trade to buy on stop. So I want to see a break of that high at 22,447. So it's for the 5-minute trading day strategy. We run that on, I'll run that on the Hang Seng. I also do it on the Dow and the DAX. So looking at the Tech 50, so you can see it's taken off there. We got into the market at 49, and it's just teetering on the profit target. It's only going for 30 points on that, and it's just about to tag it. It has a nibble a couple of times, and then it goes through. There you go. So it's all done. So that's locked away that first win on the Hang Seng. So really, it's just a matter of looking at the market now and just working out our key levels and getting a bit of a vibe for which way the market's going, which way, you got to swing high, swing low, what's going to be the action for the day. Okay, so on to the next trade here. I actually did try to go short. So this is the second short. I'm just about to place another order. So I did go short. You'll see I got this little pop through. Okay, there's got a red candle there. I've got my little entry I've marked up there. I did get in, and then I got stopped straight back out again about 3 minutes later. But the thing is, the structure's still holding okay. It was just a bit of a flush. I was probably, like I said, a bit trigger happy sometimes. Got into that short, and then it turned around and stopped me out. So I'm having another go at it now. You'll see it sold at, was it 411 and 417. So I had another double go at it there, and we'll just see how that plays out now. Okay, we've moved forward a bit. You can see that the trade doesn't go too well. Look, it looks like it's going to go down, but it kept getting supported. And it's that last little push through support, which I expected it should have really kept going, but it didn't. So basically, it's about here where I start to close it out and call it a day on that trade. Okay, here you'll actually see I've gone long now. I forgot to press pause or unpause on the recording, but you'll see I got long at around 22,455, I think it was. You see the order in the top box on the right-hand side and the two sell limits, just the partial exits down below there. So playing around with the exit, just trying to get some money back from that earlier loss where we went short. But yeah, it's looking okay. Look, the 5 minute, once I start to get, if it's thinking it's going to roll over and it doesn't, it starts to, flush out the lows and then rally like it did those last, what's probably the last three candles of that 5 minute chart, then I'm happy for a bigger extension to the top side and to start attack some levels on the top side. So I'm happy if we've got enough buffer to start going and flip and go long. Okay, you've got to be quick. That's my mindset. Look, if we're not going to go down, we're going to squeeze up higher a lot more. And if there's enough fat in that trade to make it worthwhile, then yeah, I'll take it. As long as I get at least a 1-to-1 the risk. And you'll see, like I said, 455, trying to get out, 70 points or so on that one on a partial. I think I just missed that, so I have to start exiting here because it looks like it's going to start to stall. Okay, you see here, I start to play around. The markets pop back up. So I had a bit of a push up, just missed my exit, which I think it does for a second time actually. Just missed my partial exit. It's made a high low. I'm great. I've got a nice tight risk on this one. It's just below, it's just above my entry, sorry. But you'll see I start playing around the exit. So I think I'll take that wider target off, just cancel that. I've got a feeling that it's not going to go much higher. It's stalled once, it's pulled back, and it's starting to stall at the same high. So really, I think I'll just start edging out of some here, just to be, to be on the safe side, taking a partial, locking away some gains, and then start playing around with the final exits if I feel that it's not really going to go anywhere further. So we'll just keep an eye on this one. I think I take some off any minute now, if you'll see. There you go. So it's just got out of some there, and I think I just keep doing the same thing, exiting if it does starts to roll over, and just tighten up that risk, because getting the feeling that it's had a two legs up, it's just gone through the previous highs, you'll see, and it's starting to stall this little minor double top. So I don't want to risk that it's had a major pullback, considering the other markets are weak at the time. And then I just want to start scaling some out there, or scaling it out, and if I feel like it's going to completely fall apart, close it all out, and then just go from there. Okay, you'll see I'm just winding up the trade here. We've taken a few partials after we've missed the profit target. Had another go at the highs, and I was sitting there waiting for it to extend, but it just didn't do it. Okay, it didn't look like I wanted to keep going higher. It looked like it was, okay, if you're going to pull back, hold another higher low and then go up to the high, it should just blast through it. Really, if it's a nice strong market, it should go through it. But it didn't want to do that. So it was really prudent just to take it off, considering what the market's been doing lately. It'll flush up to a level, hold a higher low, and then just fade. So you don't want to be part of the the major pullback, and those turnarounds are just out of the blue. So I was happy to take that off, call it a day on that trade, and I think that was the last trade of the day. So I'll give you a bit of a recap of the trades, and when we'll finish it up there. Okay, just to finish up, it looks like I'm done for the session. I'm probably going to call it quits and go for a bit of a jog, I think, try to get some fitness up. Anyway, it's looking like I got out at the right time on that long, so a bit of a wrap up. I did get short in here. It was going okay until we got this spike out of nowhere. And if you go and look at the Nikkei, Nikkei just came out of nowhere as well. So it was kind of like a push through this level, took out all these stops and then ramped straight back and through. Okay, so if you are finding the markets choppy, you're right. They are very, very difficult at the moment, especially intraday stuff. I mean, there's no real run on. You get this sort of stretch down here, and then all of a sudden you're behind. You can get short, you can get on the right side of the action, but you could be down for a lot of the trade. So it's just something you've got to face at the moment and deal with at the moment. So you look at even the ASX about the same time, 1 o'clock, they all decided to go higher. So I'm not sure what drove that, whether there's some news coming out, but anyway. So that's what took me out. I got out here before the stop got hit, and then the market continued to rally. So I was in, can't remember where I got in. So I got in somewhere once this started to confirm. I think I might have been a bit earlier and had to sit through this chop, and it went up, it went through the highs and eventually got out. I missed my profit target by 1 point or 2 points here, half of like a partial. So I took some out here, took the rest out here before it drops, or a bit earlier on. So turned it up for the day. that's why I'm just calling it quits. It was a tough going. It wasn't that easy. I mean, the market could roll over now. You can see even that selling. It was looking like from there, it's holding the MAs and then bang straight down. So I mean, if you're going to sell this breakthrough here on a high, a lower high, it could easily turn around and whip you straight back out again. The actual physical index is it was on the rise not long ago, but for now, let me just check that. Yeah, so it's kind of did the same sort of thing. It had this V shape and then just starting to roll now, pretty much like this. So it's just suckering in some buyers, squeezing them out, suckering in some sellers and squeezing them out. So it's really lacking some clear direction. It's more range bound trading. So you got to trade the edges, which I find personally a bit tougher than sort of the your trending kind of a market. Um, the setup's a lot tougher. You got to trade it at very uncomfortable times like this. I mean, if you were looking to get long all the way through here because you thought it was a rangy kind of day, I mean, you took out the lows here, so you could have got long in here, and then you took out the lows again, and then it turned, on the third time around once it squeezed out some a few more buyers from earlier on. So that sort of action. Now, in hindsight, that could have been a buy, and I was actually, even though I was short, I was up. I thought it might have had a bit of a spurt down to this low, but in the back of my mind was this is not looking too good. You can just see the price action, down, up, down, flush, flush, flush. Every time it sort of flushed in a low, it popped back up, it popped back up. So I was offside quite a bit, uh, even until that last few minutes. I was on the side there a bit, and it turned around and went straight back up again. So it really was lacking that conviction. I should have cut it earlier, but I was trying to give my trades a bit more room to move, and that's probably proving to be the wrong move at the moment. I'll tell you, when things turn and you get on the trend trade and you start cutting early, you'd be disappointed. So yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say. We'll see how we go. I'll whack all this together and then pop it out there. So thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll try and do more down the track. Cheers. Bye.